Welcome to Hollywood Bulletin, where we explore the untold truths of the biggest stars in entertainment history. Today, we turn the spotlight on one of late-night television's most legendary icons, Johnny Carson. For over 30 years, Carson was the face of The Tonight Show, delivering monologues, celebrity interviews, and unforgettable comedic moments that made him a household name. With his sharp wit, magnetic charm, and impeccable timing, Johnny didn't just host television, he defined it. But after retiring in 1992, Carson all but vanished from public life. Fans who had welcomed him into their homes every night for decades were left wondering, why did Johnny Carson choose to live out his final years in complete isolation? Carson's exit from the public eye wasn't sudden, but it was absolute. After his emotional farewell from The Tonight Show, which was watched by over 50 million people, Carson made it clear he wasn't interested in clinging to fame. Unlike many celebrities who continue appearing in interviews or public events, Carson stuck to his word. He gave only a handful of interviews after retiring, most notably a 1993 conversation with David Letterman, and then faded almost entirely from view. He declined most public appearances, refused tribute shows, and declined lucrative offers to return to TV, even for guest spots. This was no accident. Carson was an intensely private man, and according to those closest to him, he had always been more introverted than his stage persona let on. According to biographers and longtime friends, Carson didn't enjoy the Hollywood spotlight off-camera. He preferred the calm of his personal life, particularly after decades of being on the air 5 nights a week. After retiring, he spent much of his time on his yacht, Serengeti, often sailing alone in the Pacific Ocean, or relaxing in his Malibu and Beverly Hills homes. He indulged in reading, playing the drums, and closely following world events. He also wrote monologue jokes and occasionally faxed them to David Letterman, who he quietly admired as a successor, though he refused to appear on Letterman's show again. Even as the industry continued to honor him, Carson turned down almost every invitation. Part of Johnny's reclusiveness in his final years can be attributed to declining health. In 2002, it was revealed that he had been diagnosed with emphysema, a result of his decades-long smoking habit, a vice that had been visible on air during the early years of The Tonight Show. He had quit smoking in the 1970s, but the damage had already been done. By the early 2000s, his health had deteriorated significantly. Despite his illness, Carson never sought public sympathy. He didn't release statements or give interviews about his condition. Instead, he chose to endure his battle privately, surrounded only by his closest family and friends. Carson died on January 23, 2005, at the age of 79, due to respiratory failure arising from emphysema. His passing shocked many, not because it was unexpected, but because the world had grown so accustomed to not hearing from him. His death felt like the closing of a silent chapter. Tributes poured in from across the globe. Fellow comedians, talk show hosts and fans paid their respects to a man who had shaped the very genre of late-night television. But true to form, Carson's funeral was private, attended by only his family and a few friends. There was no public memorial, no final interview, and no televised send-off. It was exactly how he would have wanted it. In the end, Johnny Carson's story isn't just about a television legend who walked away. It's about a man who, after decades of public service in the form of laughter, chose peace, privacy, and introspection. His decision to live in isolation wasn't one made in sadness, but in fulfillment. He had done what he set out to do, and he left on his own terms, quietly, gracefully, and with a legacy that still echoes today in every late-night monologue. Thank you for watching Hollywood Bulletin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Life of Johnny Carson. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story from the world of classic Hollywood.